In one of my last videos, I talked about the possibility of troops not getting paid during the government shutdown, and man, there were some very concerning comments on that one. A lot of you said the same thing. It's a big deal. I've got no extra savings. I've got no plan B. I rely on my paycheck in order to live. And if that paycheck doesn't come in, me and my family are screwed. And honestly, guys, I get it. I get that completely. I've been there. You know, there was a time a long time ago when I was a private with 4 kids, a wife, living paycheck to paycheck, buried in debt. I had so much debt, it's ridiculous. I remember all the time just sitting at the table with a stack of bills trying to figure out which ones I could pay and which ones I could let go for a little bit longer just to avoid going into collections. And the memory of the stress that inflicted on me is still, it's making my heart race now just thinking about it. That kind of stress is real. I get how much it weighs on you, and it doesn't just go away on its own. But here's the truth, okay? Whether you want to take it or not, here's the truth. You don't have to stay stuck depending on one source of income. You shouldn't do that. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 realistic side hustles for active duty military, things that you can do while serving that don't require a ton of money up front. All it's really going to take is some extra time and some extra effort. Because if the paycheck ever does just stop coming in one day, you need to be ready for that. You got to have a plan B. You got to have a backup. So with that, let's get into it. Number 1 is flipping stuff on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. This one hits home for me. It's very special to me because this is one of the biggest side hustles that I've used in the past that actually got me and the family over some really hard times. And it works. Back then we shared one vehicle, and I know a lot of you guys out there do that. We had one minivan. That was the family car. We would drive around posts, mostly the officer neighborhoods. Those are the best places to go for this, on trash days. And you would be absolutely amazed what people actually throw out to the curb for trash. Couches, bookshelves, tools, baby gear, strollers, all in really good shape. And baby gear, by the way, is like gold. We'd clean it up, take really good pictures, and post it online. And like I said, the baby stuff with this would just sell instantly, like same day sales, no problem. Sometimes we'd make an extra 50 bucks, sometimes it'd be 100 bucks, sometimes even more. And this is all just from stuff that people didn't want anymore. That extra cash helped us pay our bills, it helped us put food on the table, and eventually we were able to buy really cheap items off those marketplaces and then flip them for a higher value, which is actually easier to do than you'd think. People will sell things without ever cleaning them up. They might, just need a paint job or something like that, and it's something that you can do very easily. It doesn't take very much time, and you can sell it for double the price. And somebody gets something really nice out of the deal. And you might be thinking, wow, you want me to sell trash to people? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is find the things that really shouldn't be just thrown away in the first place. If they need to be cleaned up or spruced up in any way, that's where you come in, you do that, and then you sell it to people that are in need for a discounted price altogether. So it's a win-win. Now, there's not too many cons with this. Obviously, you're gonna need some sort of vehicle to transport these sorts of goods. A minivan was perfect for us for like the couches and stuff, but you can find plenty of smaller items to fit into a small vehicle as well. And you're gonna need some sort of storage space to store these items before they sell. For us, we would just stick them into a corner of our garage on post, and it would just wait there until somebody came to pick them up. Number 2, military niche e-commerce. You can start to sell a small brand that speaks to the military community, and you guys probably see this happening all the time. It's like all the rage right now, and it works. Now, right off the bat, you might be thinking, well, I'm not an inventor. I don't have the time to be thinking of something that the military might like, but this is actually a lot easier than it sounds. You don't even need a warehouse or a place to store all your goods or anything like that. You can do something very simple. There's a lot of services out there that do print on demand, like Printify or Printful. Companies like that hold an inventory of a lot of different things ranging from t-shirts, coffee mugs, wall flags, banners, all sorts of things that you can customize to whatever you want them to look like and be. And then when an order comes through, they fulfill that order, they print whatever the imagery or the design that you came up with is, and then they actually send it to that customer on your behalf. So all you have to do is come up with the idea, you have to somehow get that idea in front of the right eyes, and they handle the rest. You can obviously do this with any niches, but the reason why I say military niche is so effective is because you know what the military might want to see on, say, a t-shirt or something like that. Think of a t-shirt that you would want to wear that speaks to you as somebody who is in the military. If you come up with a good design of something that you would wear, then chances are there's going to be a whole lot of your battle buddies out there that would wear it too. And you don't have to be a t-shirt designer or a graphic designer or anything like that. You can use Canva, for example, to help you along with the design process. It will actually help you to build a t-shirt design using templates and things that other people have already made before as inspiration. And then all you have to do is connect it to a shop and connect it to the print-on-demand service, and you're done. You're set. And let me tell you, there's a lot of military members that have used this exact strategy, and they're still using it today. There's some that have gotten out and they have created six-figure businesses. This is what they do now after the military, or it's the reason why they got out of the military because it's so effective. And really the best part about this whole thing is that it can be done 100% online. So it doesn't matter if you're TDY often, if you're deployed, anything like that, this is all online. And that means your audience is infinite. So as long as you start, you have the potential to not only build a side hustle, but turn it into a real brand. Now, as far as the cons go, just for consideration, it does take a little bit of time to build up that traction and to learn the marketing piece. But once it clicks, it's powerful. Number 3 is content creation. When I say that, it doesn't mean that you have to be a fitness influencer. It doesn't even mean that you have to show your face on camera. You can make content about literally anything. Cars, cooking, gaming, tech reviews, parenting, whatever it is that you're into, you could easily make content about it. Now, the key to this, in order to find the best probability of success, is to find a niche, something that you are good at or something that you're just passionate about. That ensures that whatever content you're making, you actually enjoy making the content altogether. And even though it might be a little bit of a slog to get to where you're at the point where you're starting to become monetized, you still have a good time. It's still rewarding to you to actually make that content. Now, as far as platforms go, there's plenty to choose from that monetize. You have YouTube, Facebook monetizes now, and of course, TikTok. YouTube is my absolute favorite. I would definitely advise that you start there. The reason for that is because once you make long form content on YouTube, longer videos than like, a minute and 30 seconds, it stays on there forever. Meaning people can find your video that you might have made a year ago and still watch it, still get value from it, and you'll still be able to monetize from it. Not only that, but YouTube is the largest video search engine, and it's also tied to Google. Its search engine optimization is tied to Google. So anytime somebody searches for anything in the Google bar, a YouTube video will always show up. You can go ahead and test that and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That's why how-to videos are usually so successful. And you don't have to do how-to videos. You can do so many different things. You can do product reviews on YouTube and you don't even have to show your face. You can maybe just show your hands or something like that. Not only do you not have to have your face on the camera, but you don't even have to use your own voice anymore. You can just use AI generation and build a voice out for you to talk on these videos on your behalf. And there's multiple ways to monetize content. For example, if you do product reviews, you can add the links to those products down in the description of your videos. A good example of that is just becoming an Amazon affiliate and dropping that link down in the description. And then anytime somebody buys something from your video off of Amazon, it doesn't even have to be the product that you reviewed, you will get a commission from that sale. And Amazon sells everything, okay? So I'm sure there's something that you might have lying around in your barracks or in your houses that you enjoy using. You don't even have to buy it up front. You can use what you already have, make sure it's on Amazon, and just do a review on it. There you go, you're done, costs you nothing. Once you start getting bigger and more recognized, you'll start getting hit up by other companies who will then pay you to do reviews of their products on their behalf. So there's multiple different ways to monetize content, and as long as you're staying true to your audience, then it's all a win-win opportunity. With content creation, just starting out, you can make anywhere between $200 and $1,000 a month. It all depends on which platforms you're using. I would suggest you use multiple platforms, and how long it really does take you to gain traction. That can be anywhere between a month to a year. So it all just really depends. But the best part of it all, and this is especially true with YouTube, is that the content lives on there forever and it literally generates passive income for you for years down the line. Just think of it like this. Every video that you make is literally a digital asset for you that brings you in cash. The biggest con is that this isn't going to happen overnight. You really are going to have to put in some work for this, But if you're willing to sacrifice some extra time on your downtime, this is definitely a good opportunity to make some extra cash. Number 4, freelancing. This one is exceptionally great for anybody who already has an existing skill, but you don't actually have to have an existing skill to get started doing this. Maybe you're good at writing or editing, social media, graphic design, or video work. And if you're not, it's pretty easy to learn. You could probably find a YouTube video on the subject. Sites like Fiverr and Upwork, they let you post your services and get paid for projects you do on your own time. You can work from the barracks, you can work from your house, even on deployment. As long as you've got internet, you can get work done. Those sites that I mentioned, Fiverr and Upwork, there's all sorts of freelancers on there covering a range of different services. And you can even make up your own service. I went on there recently to see about hiring somebody to do something for me. And I actually came across somebody who is providing drill instructor services, which is basically their version of life coaching using the skills that they learned in the military. And I know that they're successful doing that because they already had a whole bunch of reviews, 5-star reviews for their services. And this is something that you can make a lot of money doing if you actually establish yourself correctly. Just starting out, you can easily make $300 to $500 a month, and that's a conservative number. It all just really depends on the skill or service that you're offering. The biggest pros with this one is that it's flexible hours, so that's definitely good for anybody that's in the military, right? It builds you real world experience, and it can lead to something full-time down the road. Now, some of the cons, it does take a little bit of time to build a reputation and land those first few clients. But once you do, it only gets easier from there. Over time, you'll build up a client base, you'll get a whole bunch of good reviews, hopefully, right? As long as you're doing good work, and you will build and establish a solid reputation on those platforms. Number 5 is driving for Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash, those sorts of things. I wanted to bring this one up because I actually myself did this for a little while, almost 12 months. After duty hours or on the weekends, anytime I wasn't working, I would just flip on the Uber app, that's who I was driving for at the time, and I would easily find rides, and I was bringing in an easy $100 every time I would do that. That extra cash helped me to pay off some of the family debt, take care of the family when times were tight. It was a really good and dependable way to make some extra cash. And it's super flexible. You won't get any requests for rides unless you turn that app on. So it's really whenever you feel like working, you turn on the app and you get to work. You could even just be sitting at home, not doing much, maybe working on your other side gig, something like that, and turn on the app and ping, you leave the house, go give somebody a ride, and you can come right back home. Most drivers are making anywhere between $15 to $25 an hour doing this, and that's after gas expenses. That adds up to anywhere between $300 to $800 a month, part-time. Now, the biggest cons with this one is obviously, first of all, you have to have a vehicle, and it has to be a dependable vehicle. You're putting wear and tear on that vehicle. You will have to pay for gas, and the majority of nighttime driving, especially on Fridays and Saturdays, you'll be dealing with a lot of drunk people. So the chances of somebody throwing up in your car is pretty high. However, if they do, there's a pretty substantial fee that you will be awarded in the case that you have to clean something like that up. And last time I checked, it was like $100 or something like that. It's probably more now. That was a few years ago. But those are the biggest cons you'd have to worry about. Besides that, it's pretty easy money. So those are the 5 most realistic ways for a military service member who's on active duty to realistically make some extra cash flow. Now here's a little bonus tip. You don't have to just pick one, okay? Start with one that you can manage, then stack these side hustles over time. Maybe you flip some stuff like we talked about before, and then you use that cash to start a small e-commerce business. Once you start that business, you can then begin starting to make content around that business. And every hustle begins to start feeding the next. And that's how you go from surviving to thriving. The goal overall is not just to grind yourself to the ground nonstop. It's to build systems that earn for you even when you're not working. And if you get to that point, you've definitely won and you won't have to be dependent on that paycheck anymore. All right, guys, so at the end of the day, it's about taking control. Don't just wait for the next government shutdown or crisis to realize how fragile your paychecks can be. All of these side hustles are completely doable. You just have to put in the extra time and effort. That's it. It won't happen overnight. It's not going to be handed to you, but if you stay consistent, you'll be amazed at what you can build with just a little drive and a little discipline. You got to start somewhere, and the first step is usually the hardest, but once you take it, everything starts to change. If you want me to do a more complete or more full breakdown on how to start any of these side hustles step by step, drop a comment below and let me know which one you want to see first. And if you're somebody who has found another side hustle, one that might not have been mentioned here, or maybe it was one that mentioned here that worked for you, please drop your experience with that side hustle at the bottom as well so that others can see it. If you found any value out of this information whatsoever, make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Besides that, stay motivated out there, stay ready, most importantly, stay gritty, and I will see you on the next one.